What's up, bro?
We are live. What's going on? What's going on? We are back. We are back. We're having some technical difficulties on the on side, but we're going to be okay. We're working through everything. God is still good. God's still in control.
Amen.
The devil not trying to let us be great on this good Sunday. I hope you all went to church. I know I woke up and went to church this morning. I was blessed by the Lord. What's going on, Dion? How's a sunny Sunday in Eleuthera?
Man, I had a great day, man. I like you, I went to church. Well, before I went to church, I dropped off cousin Keisha to the airport. She was there for the weekend, so that was cool. Hang out with her a bit. Dropped her to the airport, came straight home, got ready, went to church, came home, got ready, and went did some exploring with a good friend of mine.
So you said you went to Rock Sound, a place in Rock Sound today?
Yeah, I went down to Rock Sound to a spot called Half Sound. I thought it was kind of a hidden place, but apparently it wasn't so hidden because we ran into a lot of people. I mean, it was quite of a trek to get there, but it was still a good time. Beautiful spot, man. To me, I always believe the best places are hidden off the beaten path.
Definitely. So if you were on with us, please just comment in the comment box. Say hey, let us know you're here. Hi, Miss Laverne, we see you. Just let us know you're here so we can acknowledge you. This show is about just family, just talking and relaxed conversation. So we want to include you as best as possible. So please feel free to comment throughout the conversation. Today we're talking about friendships, and so if you had a chance to go on my Instagram at IslandBoyNPR. On my story, I put a few questions out there. Feel free to go there right now. It's at IslandBoyNPR and answer the questions. The questions are: what are some expectations you have in your friendships? How do you know a friend from an acquaintance? Is there a sign that determines if your friendship is over? And do you need any advice about your friendship? Dion and I will talk about it. We have a lot of friends. Daddy said, "Big Daddy in the house." The bishop is in the house.
Yeah.
Cousin Janet is here.
Hey, cousin Janet, how you doing? All the way from Indianapolis, Miss Laverne, all the way out in Jamaica. All right. Um, like Diane said, having some technical difficulties. My computer charger decided to stop working today, so I'm pulling it up on my phone because my iPad wouldn't work. But we can make this happen.
Okay. Let's take you out of there. Okay.
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 So, yeah. All right, guys. So we good. We good. We straight. We ain't got nothing to worry about no more.
Yes. Don't forget to share the stream.
Yep.
We're going to get started in a second. I'm going to share it to my groups and on my personal Facebook page, and then we can get started.
Yeah, guys. So this is the second edition of Two Brothers, Same Blood, Different Perspectives. And we're about to talk about life, and this week's theme is friendships. Like Diane Lee has his questions. I have a few questions as well that we're gonna explore. Um, we look forward to all of your comments and your input.
Also, just shout out to the 2,000 of you who watched our last broadcast.
Yes, yo,
A big thank you to all of you.
Hey, thanks so much. I mean, I know that I'm sure Diane got comments. I had people who called and gave comments and congratulatory remarks. So, we really appreciate all of that, man.
And I got, a ton of calls, ton of texts. People said they watched it 3 and 4 times. And so just thank you to all of you. Just to be exact, all 2,328 of you. So wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, just thank you. We want to keep this going. So feel free to keep up with us. Follow us on our social media. Dion knows all of our social media handles. We will share them in a minute. And then he has his birthday shout outs, and then we'll get started.
Yep. So me and Daniel's social media handles are IG, Instagram handles are Daniel is the Island Boy in PR, the Island Boy in PR, TheIsland. BOYINPR, and then the strategist PR, TheStrategistPR. That's the strategist PR is his personal page. Mine are Gibby Da Pharma, GIBBYDAFARMA 242, and Dacwyl Farms 242, DACWILFARMS 242. As Daniel said, we love to do our birthday shout-outs. We got to make sure all our family and friends feel loved. This week was a pretty big week, and we had one in our family since the last show. Not this week, but last week. We're going to do every other week for now. So we want to shout out our cousin Drew McCartney, whose birthday was April 7th. Since then, Diane's going to correct me if I forget anyone, but my best friend, since we talk about friends, it is very appropriate. Teron and I have known each other. He turned 33. I'll be 33 in a couple of months. So we've been friends since we were actually 2 years old. So we celebrating 31 years of friendship this year. Big shout outs to T-Mac, a.k.a. Mark Diamond. Got a million names for him. We also want to shout out on Joan, who is celebrating today. Joan Harris, happy birthday. And Joan, we love you. Diane, am I missing anybody else? I might be missing a few. Cardra, yeah. So our cousin Cardra Hassan Sawyer, because she didn't hyphenate her name, but Cardra's birthday is today. Just looking on my Facebook right now, the Mighty Pencil, the big DJ, his birthday is today. As well as our good friend, a family friend from our church, Holy Trinity, Craig Christie, and also Antonia Daniel. Antonia Maynard, happy belated birthday, Antonia. And I think Uncle David and Antonia celebrated their anniversary as well. And Darren, our cousin Darren, will be celebrating tomorrow. So happy birthday in advance to Darren. All right. If we didn't get you, we can't do everybody. This is a show for the two of us, so we're gonna stick to those that are mutually tied in for the most part. So like I said, we're talking about friendship today, man. So Daniel, I know you had a few questions, and I have a few things that I have that I'd like to tap into as well. So let's knock it off, bro.
Let's go ahead. Well, first of all, I just want to lead off with everybody ain't your friend. So let's just clear the air. Let's just start off with that. Everybody is not your friend. And if today costs some friendships, exactly. And if today costs some friendships, don't blame me, but I'd let you know already, everyone ain't your friend. And every friend got a name, like my mommy say. Ain't nobody named their child friend. So
who is friend?
Let's just get into it. My first question I put on my Instagram. What are some expectations you have in friendships? And I got some comments back. Daddy said support. Daria said loyalty, trust, a good time. One of my good friends, Steven, said loyalty, prayer, and motivation. I don't know if you could hear on that crackling in the background of me or so.
Yeah, I don't know if that's my phone or what. I'm not certain.
Okay. Sorry.
Do you hear it when I speak or when you speak? I actually hear it when you speak.
I do hear when I speak.
Yeah.
Let me mute for a second. Go ahead.
Yes, I mean expectations of the friendship. Before that, I'd like to define friendship actually. For me, and I think that would lay out what expectations are if you define it first. And for me, friendship is that extension of your family, in my true belief of the word and what I was taught in being a friend. I have friends who tease me and be like, boy, y'all is really a loving family. You always call me and check on my wife and my children, not just when we going out to drink, And I think that, again, there are levels to friendship. You have acquaintances, you have associates, you have business partners who may be, somewhat of a friend. But yeah, you have to define what friendship is. But what I look for in friendship is people who are going to be real with me, who are going to support me, who are going to defend me, protect me, tell me when I'm wrong. And that support, I think that support element is greatest. You see a lot of memes nowadays that say, y'all be out there supporting businesses, but when your friends do stuff you want a discount. If your friend is starting a business, your friend is doing a business, it's a business. Allow them to offer that to you, not you go and ask them. It's being there and holding that person down no matter what. You got their back 100% of the time, you know.
It's very true, very true. I think I don't know. It might be the connection where you at, Um, but yeah, I just want to. That's the devil trying to get in our conversation. So to continue about defining friendship, I mean, I know for me, friendships are just a foundation to my whole life. Like, I have family, but I have the friends, people who are truly part of my certain part of my life, to help uplift me in kind of moments. Um, Dion, I'm gonna meet you while I talk. Okay. Um, so my friends have been people who I surround myself with who kind of push me to the next level. And it's really important that you surround yourself with people, with friends who are, and I guess in some case, a little bit better than you or a little bit more advanced than you to help challenge who you are as a person. But it's also good, I will challenge that. Also good to have some friends who are right there with you, some people that you can grow with, who you can, just do life with. It's good to have a good mix. I would definitely say you never want to have friends or people in your immediate circle who are behind you, who are holding you back, who are visionless, or can't sometimes see your vision. However, everyone will not see your vision, but you want to make sure people in your circle say, that's Gibby. Gibby got that vision. I don't understand it, but I'm gonna rock with it either way. So you want to make sure you're surrounded with people who are pushing you forward, who are helping you develop, who are helping you grow, and just really challenging not only what your values are, but making you really defend yourself. Like, they're your values, like defend yourself. Like, tell me why you believe in such and such. And so that's really what I think the art relationship is really about as well. Challenging one another to be our best selves, but also encouraging one another to be better and kind of do life with one another. Take
You know one,
coffee. Go ahead.
yeah. One thing I like to say. I coined the phrase about a year ago. It says, "When iron sharpens iron, sparks will fly." And I think we'll touch that at some point. But friendships should have ups and downs. Friendships are just like any other relationship. I think the friendships are those relationships that support all other relationships. And so, like, if my friends don't pull me aside and call me out on my BS or give me a pat on the back or whatever it may be, are they really your friends? Like you said, growing together. I have taken on a new mantra within the past month that if we're not growing together, if we're not pushing each other and moving in life, and all we could do is sit down and have a drink and kiki and ka, no, that ain't a friend. That's a drinking buddy. And that's one of my points, a friend versus a drinking or party buddy. Those are acquaintances or associates, but if you don't ever have a moment where you sit down and discuss life or, hey, how you doing, man? What's really going on? Because if you only see the good times in a person's life, that's not your friend, you know.
Or really, if you only show up, if you could, hey Keisha, if you only show up, people with the good times, that's how you really know. So I think that's really that kind of leads into like the questions that I was asking. How do you know a friend from an acquaintance? Like Dion said, if all person want to do is some kiki up, eat your food, drink your liquor, spend your money, that ain't your friend. Really, I mean, really think about that. Is that really your friend? And then when you down in the house, bored, tired, depressed, need someone to call on and pray with, just talk to, and they out kicking someone else.
Yeah, that's real, bro. And a lot of people may think that's what it is. And I don't want to seem like I'm attacking anyone, but with social media now, you're able to observe other people's lives or as much as they put out there for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen people who I've known for years. People who I would have been close with 5, 10, 15. I ain't that old, but even 10 years, 20 years ago, who to this day, I still hold them close to my heart. And they have a special place with me. They don't treat me the same way. And I look at the people who they hang out with and I'm like, y'all in the same social circle and y'all party and whatnot together, but does that person really have your interest at heart? And like I've had instances where people who, like I said, 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, we were close. And then they come back to me years later and be like, man, but I feel like I could talk to you. And I'm like, I'm the type of person I'm gonna talk to them. But at the same time, why you feel like you could come talk to me now when you ain't talked to me in all this time? You was in there when I was, down or whatever. Me being a good person, I think something I mentioned last week that our mother always taught me is don't expect you from other people, you know. Um, and so you end up kind of being a friend to people, and you may be their friend, but they are not your friend, if that made sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think that happens to a lot of people. Like I say, everybody who daddy say key, yeah, really and truly, and everybody who key in your face. That's why everybody mom could tell the girl what he tell her, key your mom. And sometimes you gotta tell people that, really and truly, because you gotta protect yourself. It may sound selfish, but I always tell people you have to be selfish in order to be selfless, because you cannot give from an empty cup. You can't keep giving and pouring yourself into people, and nobody is pouring nothing into you.
I agree. I definitely agree. I really had to. For me, when I went to school, like when I went to college, I had to kind of like start deciphering that because for me, growing up, I guess really, my friends were my parents' friends' children for the most part, or my cousins, or one or two friends I didn't make in school. And so when went to school and had opportunity to make friends, I had to really decipher like, are you really my friend, or you talking because I have an accent, or I'm from an exotic place, or I look like I got money. I mean, like, so like I had to really kind of make a list of these are the things that I want to see in my friends, or these are the things I expect out of my friendships, or I need in my friendships. And then these are the things I'm willing to give in my friendships too. It's I think like y'all said, in order to be selfless, you have to be selfish, and I had to be selfish and kind of figure out who I was as a person and what is it that I needed and what Daniel wanted out of a friendship before I can be a good friend, or even say, or even ask for like, or go look at your have friends.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a lot of, and I think, hey, it could be a lot and it could be draining. People don't realize that, and that's why I spoke about, friendships being those relationships that are the support system for every other relationship. I have on my notes, friends who are family, and then family as friends, because a lot of times family members, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, siblings take this stand. And I mean, and I'll be quite honest, Daniel has been just my brother for a very long time. Only recently, Daniel and I have developed a friendship, and so it's easy to say, I am your mother, I am your father, I am your big brother, I am your auntie. But that extended, more intimate relationship more so reflects a friendship than it does a familial relationship. Because the familial relationship says, I'm the big brother, so my only job is to protect him, make sure he's straight, make sure he got something to eat, right? Beyond that, hey, you was my little brother, me and you ain't no company, don't mix with me. You know, our parents, I could say for all of us, our parents are our friends. And that's one thing they made very, very sure, and made sure we were comfortable with knowing that we could come and speak to them about any and everything. Um, and so and then you have those friends who become a part of your family. Daniel spoke about my friends, being his friends, because me and my social habits, I should say, would bring him and Daria, around my friends, and they would have to interact with them. But many of those friends are just like family. I don't have to be in Nassau, and they could go and show up at our house and say, "Hey, mom, how you doing?" I have friends. My best friend Duran, who I told you about. I've never called Duran's mom anything but mom for the last 15 years. I've never called her by her surname or anything like that. I always call her mom. I have other people who I do the same with. And so I think that that's very important to acknowledge and realize that friendship is maybe a higher level of a connection with an individual. Um, in the sense that that's a person who you could go to in times of need, in times of trouble. Family, yes, but not every family member you can go to in a time of need either. And that's the reality. Some of your family can look at you and say, Bala, that's your problem. You get yourself there, you can find your way out.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So I think that that's something very important to acknowledge as well. Give me 1 second while I take this noisy toy from this dog.
So while Dion is dealing with my niece, I want to start going into when he comes back. He says some questions he wanted to share. Jamila and Daddy Dion is a social butterfly, but what else is he going to do? I mean, that's someone got to be the social butterfly in our family. It definitely ain't us, ain't the rest of us. Um, so like I said, if you haven't had a chance yet, I posted some questions on my Instagram. Please feel free to go there and answer them, so we can get your perspective. Also, you can put them in the chat as we answer them. Um, Dion, you had some questions that you wanted to talk about. You want to begin unpacking those. You're on mute. Dion, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry. Jamila, why you laughing at me, man? Good to see you, Jamila. Hey, I guess that right there is a point right there. Jamila is a cousin of ours from Alucho. I really got cool with Jamila and her twin sister Aquila when the three of us entered COB the same time. Yeah, we would have known each other when I on visits to Luther and whatnot as kids, but it wasn't until they came to COB and we had that connection. The family tie was what brought us together, but we developed our own friendship beyond familial ties at that point. And I think, I spoke about that, but my points, Daniel, were really, what is a friend, which I started with friends who are family and family that are friends, types of friends, and friends versus drinking buddies. And I think that's something I had to learn. You see, Roach just commented, I'm here. Roach is a good friend of mine that I met through another good friend who was a family friend, Father Bo. Roach became my cigar buddy. And we smoked cigars every Wednesday together. And I think friends have rituals and stuff like that too. I think that's another part of friendship, that you get together and you do stuff. It ain't just going out partying, going out drinking. And at first it was just me and Roach linking up to smoke cigars every Wednesday when both of us were living in Abaco. But then it became, and Roach, I don't mean to put you on the spot, right? But I mean, this show is about friendship, so I can talk about different friendships throughout my life. Um, but it turned from that to when Mommy came to visit me for Mother's Day. While I was at work, Roach and Father Bo took Mommy out for lunch because she was there during one of my work days. And they were good enough friends that I could say, hey, I don't want my Mommy to sit up in the house all day, whatever. They said, man, no problem. We could pick up, we taking her to lunch. And, you know, that's friendship, man. That to me, that is friendship at its core, bro. And only a real friend can do that, eh? Not any and everybody gonna do that. So I think that those are things that you have to consider and think about when you talk about friendship. And definitely, I think, as we said earlier, it's about them people who gonna be there when shit hit the fan. Can't say it no better.
I
Come off
agree.
the same way.
Definitely,
But those are
agree.
pardon?
No, I said I agree. What are you saying? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, so I think that we just have to acknowledge that and know that and know what it is. I need to be careful, but you have to guard yourself in friendship too, You really have to guard yourself in friendship. I don't think people realize that. Because by some friendships, if they're toxic, if they're not good, you may have friendships where people take you for a ride and use you. They put on that front and they make it seem like they're your friend, they there for you. But let's say you are a financial benefactor to them,
Mhm.
or you may be that emotional support that they need. But we all need emotional support, and if they can't provide that emotional support, then it's a one-way street. If every time you go out, this one friend or that, or you the one, or maybe it's we may be guilty of it. I have some friends that don't allow me to pay anything, and I go and pay behind their back, you know. But then you have those that'll do that to you, that they'll never stick their hand in their pocket. You have those that'll never call you and ask you how you doing, like we spoke about. Those that'll only call you when they got issues, or when you call them and say, "Hey, I need someone to talk to." Oh, I'm a little busy. Call me back in an hour. You call them in an hour, they still busy. I mean, and this goes for men and women. A lot of men, and I think we could touch this at some point, but a lot of men try to hide the fact that they need a friend. They need someone to talk to. And if your friends ain't there for you or doing that, or they can't even recognize when you need someone to talk to, you know, that ain't your friend, bro. That's just that's an acquaintance. That's an associate. That's a social buddy.
I agree. I agree. So, guys who are watching, just put in the chat some. I'm gonna break down on something about toxic friendships. Just help us talk about what's the sides of toxic friendships. Like, how do you really know? You know, you've been best friends with this person all these years, and then you really realize, like, you come tune into Dion and Daniel and realize that friendship been toxic for the last 20, 30 years. How do you get out of that? um how do you even navigate addressing that, or approaching your friend about that? Like, how do you identify a toxic relation, a friendship?
You asking me?
I'm asking you, I'm asking the audience, just put it in there.
I mean, I could give my perspective, but I really I would love a lot more audience participation. But from my perspective, I think that the easiest way to realize or recognize a toxic relationship is to consider, am I getting out what I'm putting in? You know, um, that's definitely one way. And if you are getting something out of it, is it equal to what you're contributing, or what? Okay, if I'm getting something out of it, is it equal to what I'm contributing or putting into this friendship? Is it something that, as I stated earlier, that's uplifting, building me, and making me better? I see Jamila said someone who is always negative when you come to them with your successes or ideas. 100%, Mila. You know, a lot of people, they can be there when you're making the money, you're collecting the money, but if it's something that they thought about and they never was able to do it, they can always shoot you down. And I've definitely experienced that, um, and I could relate to that. I think that at times, Roach said, I think that friendships don't evolve. Break it down from a Roach. I mean, that's a heavy statement, and I'm curious, but I would love for you to expound on that. Um, I think I know where you're going, but I'm not sure. But to Jamila's point, I agree. You love people. You like. I can say I'm a person. Sometimes I just come up with ideas out the blue, and
Hmm.
I've given away tons of ideas to people for businesses and stuff. And I could name businesses that are flourishing right now off of concepts that I might have given to people over time. You know, and that's fine because I believe in giving to people, and giving of myself. But again, you have to realize, but you can't give anything to everybody. Um, but I'm very curious about what Roach is talking about. I think that friendships don't evolve. I don't know if because I'm on my phone, it's a little delayed. I don't know if you see something a little sooner, Daniel.
No, no, I don't think. I think my interpretation of what that means, a friendship that grow. Like, the same friend I was in high school, I should not be the same friend at 40 or 50. I think the expectation changes. I think the um the reliability changes. Like, my needs in high school are not going to be my needs when I'm married, have children, or when I on my deathbed.
I get what you're
Right.
saying there, but I think what Roach is also saying is that they don't evolve in the sense that if I'm your friend today, I should be real and true to you tomorrow. That's what I got. Okay, I think he said something. He said, people change, evolve. We're all different than we were 5 years ago. If the friendship doesn't grow, I'll label it toxic. He's saying friendships that don't evolve are toxic. That's in line with what you're saying, Daniel.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Definitely.
Miss Laverne said someone who doesn't help you grow. You know,
That's
and
very
he asked
important.
another question that he said, should true friendship have boundaries? But if it ain't no, all relationships have boundaries. Eh? I believe that. I think in a marriage, I'm not married, never been married, but I'm pretty sure marriages have boundaries. You know, and I think that there should be boundaries in anything.
Hmm.
Boundaries are what help us to stay regulated. You know, and that's just life. And I think there were boundaries before there was religion. There were boundaries before there were laws and lands. They may not have been written or necessarily spoken, but guess what? If I'm a human, a baby will not like when another baby come and push them down. They can cry or they may push back. That's human. That's instinctive. You know, so definitely there are boundaries now. We could talk about what types of boundaries. You know,
Hmm.
um, and
I
I
think
think
I think
that's a gamut. That's a rabbit hole to go down.
for me, real friends help you reinforce those boundaries, help you create those boundaries, or help you define those boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me right now, one of my biggest things is I'm trying to create a really strong work-life balance. Like that's something I'm really working on. All of my friends now know that I'm really trying to get into using my calendar and like setting actual times and different stuff. And for me, my friends should be the ones helping me kind of forcing that. If they see me calling them during a time period where I've said on my calendar that it's my personal private time, they shouldn't be answering the phone and they should text me saying PT. And my friends do that. I will call them during my personal time and they'll text me like PT. Don't go do what you got to do. So I think that's really important or a part of friendship having boundaries. Cousin Janet said, if you feel comfortable with that person and the person isn't jealous of you and treat you with respect, with respect, will tell you the truth and will be there through thick and thin. That is definitely the definition for friendship. Friendship is a roller coaster. It goes up and down, round and round. You fight, you argue. I don't know if Jade is on today, but Jade and I, because we go back and forth almost every day about everything, particularly when it's to do with food. Um, but that's our friendship. I mean, we don't agree on everything. We do agree on a lot of things. We share a lot of the same values, but we don't agree on everything. And sometimes just hearing her perspectives help me kind of enlarge my mental capacity or my thinking. It helps me think about things I wouldn't normally think about or explore possibilities of other views.
Mm-hmm. I think that
So, sorry.
definitely if you don't sorry, if you don't have disagreements, I feel like is it really a friendship? I mean that's how I feel like because no two humans are alike. No two humans will think the same way. It's easy to say I wish everyone thought the way I did, but if you really think about it, it would be one boring friggin' world if we all thought the same way. Our differences is what makes us beautiful, what makes us unique, what makes us great. I often tell people at work, whether it's my staff or my superiors or anyone, um, once we have a common goal, I don't care if we agree or disagree. We're gonna all have a different way to reach that goal, but you have to have a common goal. And I think friendships, okay, a friendship may be, and again, there are different categories of friends. Like this, an emotional person. I mean, an emotional support. Maybe you may have that one person that's everything. I know I definitely don't have any one friend or any one person in my life that knows everything about me, that can help me with everything because we're all different. We have all our different life experiences, and so I think that it's extremely important to realize that and know that everyone has a place and a purpose. So I go back to that point that if we have a common goal, and I think as human beings, our common goal should be creating a better life for everyone else around us. You know, um, I know I do my doggone best to help people to be a voice of reason a support, whatever, in whichever way. I mean, that may be varied according to the individual that I'm dealing with or speaking to or speaking about. But we should never be tearing each other down, you know. And if we can all remember that common goal, you know, if you love me on WhatsApp, you see I make some comments. Someone came to me and said, you know, they heard some stuff that people were saying about me, and they told me what the people said. Man, I say, bro, they could talk. Dog don't bark at park up. And as I put on my WhatsApp status, you know, when people don't understand you, they will bring you down or do whatever they can to try and diminish you because they don't understand it. And I think that friends should be the ones to be there. If I was to go to some of my friends and say what was said about me, which I really don't care about, it's a bunch of BS or whatever. But, you know, if I was to say that, I would expect for one of my friends to say, hey, they must be stupid, they don't know you or whatever, exactly whatever it may be. You know, or, you know, they just confused, you know, they can't figure you out. And that's what friends do, you know. And you also have to watch them friends who always come to you carrying story. There's a saying I read at one point said, if they're comfortable enough to say it to you or in your presence, I need to watch you too. Because why are these people so comfortable to talk negatively about me or about me in your presence? Now, I wouldn't carry that far with this situation, but you know, you should watch your friends. If you got that one friend who always come with you, oh, so and so say this or so and so say that, you know, you gotta watch that person. Don't drop them like a fly, you know. Watch them because then you will learn them a little better and put some booby traps in their way. Sometimes you gotta set people up so they can prove themselves.
Definitely. You made a comment about friends coming to you with story. Look, anytime my friends come to me, talking about, oh, they hear so and so say this. My first question is, so what did you say back to them? Because if you ain't defending me in public, don't come to me trying to defend me in private to my face. Mommy, I'm talking. Don't worry. So that's really important for me. I think sometimes we like when our friends come run to us, telling story and say, well, so and so didn't say this, and so say you doing this, and they ain't doing that, and the next thing, and but it's like, well, as the friend, what's your response? You shouldn't be listening and soaking it in this, bringing that. But granted, like you also said, Dion, those are the friends you want to keep close to. Well, not more people you want to keep close to. I want to call them friends, but you like said, set them up. Like, you know, you just gotta like you know, people say keep your friends close but your enemies closer. You kind of put that in the same like category as an enemy, but I wouldn't call them enemy. You just want to keep them close, keep them
A
in the
friend of me.
same place. Yeah, a friend of me. Yeah. Because you want to kind of want to know what people are saying, but you really want to know who it is. So you kind of know how to weed out people as seasons go. And I will go to the next thing about, you know, how do you know when it's time to weed people out of your life?
So I want to say something right quick, right, Daniel. You know, you spoke about keeping your friends close, your enemies closer. You know, one thing I always believe, and one of my favorite scriptures, I can't tell you where it comes from, but I just know the phrase. Um, the Bible tells you, the Lord said, actually, to love those who put you down and speak poorly of you. Kill them with love, kill them with kindness. It will be like heaping coals upon their head. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that in itself will show people's true nature, you know. When you know they talking about you or you know they doing this or that, and ain't nobody gonna run from you quicker than someone who you show nothing but love. And they don't know, they may not know that you know. But you just kill them with love and kindness. Watch them scatter. You
Oh,
know,
I
do
love
it.
people don't know. I love people don't know. One thing with me, I ain't gonna know, and you ain't gonna know I know, and that's important. That's really important. You know, you got some, like you said, you got sometimes just you got to play just as dumb as them, or play the game better than them. That's a better terminology. You gotta play their game on them. And anyone listening to me right now who got something to say for me, just know I know. Just know I know. Don't worry. You know who you are. Just know I know. Dion, you say the same thing. Just know I know.
But hey, look here. Sometimes I don't know, and quite frankly, I don't even care sometimes because my thing is, if you spend your time worrying about people, that's energy. That's energy you wasting, bro. I ain't got that kind of energy to waste, And at some point, at one point in time, I did care. I did want to know who it was. But bro, I can tell you now, but right now I ain't care, but if you got that much time to sit down and talk with me, that means I'm very important, eh? And so you continue to keep me and lift me up and keep me in high esteem. You show me that what I doing is all right. Because if you got to sit, I know I could tell you one thing. Anyone who talk about me, I guarantee you, they're the furthest thing from my mind, and I ain't talking about them. And that's real. You know, your friends won't do that. And if your friends are doing that, again, as we said, and I think any and everyone would agree, they ain't your friend. And when you find out, kill them with kindness. Don't cut them off. Don't blow them up in public. Don't embarrass them. No. Just kill them with kindness. And you know what the people get? They get, hey, more people say, well, boy, you see so and so, they say that about Daniel, and look how Daniel is still around him. They talk about Dion, and look how Dion is still around him, or XYZ, whoever. But he just laugh in their face, like the reggae song, say, chat to me back, And I say that to say, you smart, hey, you treat them kind. And I saw a quote this week say, don't be the bigger person. I agree with it, but I also disagree with it because sometimes being the bigger person does not mean turning the other cheek. Being the bigger person means, hey, I see you, but I can up you one. And when I up you one, I can show you that I'm bigger and I'm better than you because what you saying and your little petty, childish antics ain't gonna stop me from going and getting where I trying to go. And that's how you be the bigger person. You understand? Not turning the other cheek and turning the blind eye. No. You just show people better. As fellow Toastmaster, JC Sweden, now he probably won't watch this, maybe he'll watch it later, but JC Sweden always says, don't get mad, don't get even, get better. And that's what you do.
Like that. Don't get mad. Don't get even. Get better. People, everyone was watching. Thank you so much for watching. We continuing, but I just wanted to just pause there and you don't need to write that down. Don't get mad. Don't get even. Get better. You said by J.C. Sweeting. We gonna get them. That's his quote today.
Yeah, J.C. Sweeting. Quote today by Joseph C. Sweeting. Don't get mad. Don't get even. Get better.
That's important. That's very, very important. And I think everybody uses being your best self or being bigger and getting better. Because actually, that's what Pastor Juan speaks about this morning. Being your best self for God, despite some other things. But he made a comment today, and that really stuck to me about being who you are. And always, sometimes in friendships, you gotta show up for yourself. Sometime in friendships, it may sound the way it's coming out may sound weird. Hey, Nala. I guess Nala will be part of the show today. But I was talking about showing up for yourself in a friendship or in a group of friends. I think we could talk about that. Being in friend groups as well. You having a social life, I have a social life. A lot of times, I socialize with the same people or as a group, not necessarily individual. And sometimes in that case, you got to show up for yourself in order to be a better friend for the whole group. And you don't realize how you taking time for yourself and preparing yourself is going to, could change a whole situation, a whole generation, a whole bloodline within your friend group.
Yeah, like I said earlier, sometimes you got to remove yourself and you have to remove yourself from a situation to recharge. You can't pour from an empty glass, and your glass, as you pour into other people's glasses, your glass needs to be filled as well. I am definitely in a few friend groups where people in the group may not be my primary friend, but they are. But we have mutual friends. But we all get together in these different groupings, and in doing so, you have to realize your place in that group. Sometimes I'm considered the talkative one, the smart one, the one who people ask this question, or the one who, you know, just always talking. I said last week or week before last, two types of people in the world, those that have something to say and those that have to say something. I try not to speak aimlessly. I try to speak with purpose. I spoke about intention and being intentional in all that we do, being deliberate. Um, and I think that especially in group settings, more so than more than that one-on-one friendship, you have to be more deliberate. You know, I spoke about how our grandfather would have said, we have two ears and two eyes for a reason, and one mouth to speak less and listen and see more, to observe, be observant. The more that we are observers in the world, the more we have to add to the world. And especially in a group where it's more than one person, I think that that's the better place to be in a group setting, is to be the observer. And when you speak so that everybody stops and listens and appreciates what you have to say. I think that that's where it comes from. And Kyle, I want to shift gears a bit, right? Because we spoke a lot about what friendships are, what we expect from friendships. But my question to you, bro, is what type of friend are you? And I say that because I want each and every one of our viewers to think about that to themselves. Because it's very easy to judge other people, to judge the friends that we have. But are you the type of friend that you wish to have? You understand? Because am I really treating the people that I'm complaining about the way I want to be treated? Or are they returning the energy that I'm giving to them? We have to sometimes, like they say, when you point one finger, there's three more pointing back at you, eh? So, and those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. So I think that, that's something we have to keep in mind as well. When you want to speak about and judge others, and we talk about friendship, so let's say, if you don't feel like that friend is treating you the way you ought to be treated, before you go jump up and say, oh, by cutting so and so off, make sure that you are the best possible friend, not best friend, you're being the best person to so and so before you could judge them, because they may only, as I said, be returning the energy that you are giving to them.
I agree. I definitely agree. Those in our audience could, we could talk about it in the comments. Kind of just maybe one word that would describe you as a friend. I think I would use mine as, I don't know. I think there's a lot of adjectives. I believe it's the right word. Adjectives. Yeah, I could use adjectives. I'm not. Yeah. Adjectives I could use to describe the kind of friend that I am to my friends. And I think my friends would definitely attest to that. But I'm somewhere between supportive and collaborative. If that makes sense. I think I'm often like the big brother to my friends, but I'm also the one that'll be like, you want to go to the moon? Let's go. And help me and work to figure out how to get there. So I guess, yeah, it's a mixture of being supportive. I guess I have two words, supportive and collaborative. But just, type in the comments, what kind of, in one or two words, what kind of friend you think you are to your friends, not, some actual like adjectives. Dion, you probably have some long, fancy word.
I got one word.
Sorry, can we just pause? Mommy just commented on the stream. I don't know if you see it.
I see it.
I mean, Daddy here too.
Friends, you have a challenging time. That's when true friends show up.
And Mommy says she's loyal and true. But I don't agree with that. But hold on, before we get to Mommy, Dion, go ahead.
She is loyal and true. But my one word about myself and the type of friend that I am is unwavering. Because I can tell you, if I flaky with someone, I can always be flaky with them.
Mm-hmm.
But if I got your back and I down the ride, I will always be unwavering and true to you. But I use the word unwavering because, you know, Roach spoke about friendships that don't evolve are bad friendships. But I think that in evolution, like they say, the more things change, the more they remain the same. And I think that that's very important to to maintain that. But we'll go through the comments. I see Miss Laverne said loyal. I think loyalty is key to friendship. True and real. Yep. If truth ain't in it, it ain't. Is it a friendship? Is it even a friendship if there's no truth to it?
Mm-hmm.
I like loyal, but at the same time, remember people change, and they may be loyal to you today, but they ain't gonna be loyal tomorrow. And guess what? They don't want you to say chat to them back. When you ready to switch on me, I believe in returning energy. I've now taken that on. I believe in returning energy. You treat me a certain way, I can treat you that way. But to those true friends, those loyal, unwavering friends, I will remain the same to you. But I will not waste my own energy or fret and hurt my head over people who will not do the same over me.
I agree. I agree. When we commented about being loyal and true, and I think that's very true. I want to say something about just friendships in our family. We talked about earlier about how your friends are like members of our family. I think that was, so I guess that's something that's a part of our family. Our friends end up becoming family, and we see it in our parents, we see it in our grandparents. Um, our grandparents get some friends who we call uncle and aunt, who we probably really think are actual uncle and aunt, and they just are our grandparents' friends. And even with our parents, I guess Toons and Gordy Cathy Mummy's longest friends, I guess, that I would know of. And Daddy, and Uncle Christian, Uncle Andre, Uncle Brian, Uncle Pete. And now I think about it, Mummy and Daddy got some friends who'd always been their friend all my life, and I really know how they became friends. But I know that's my uncle or that's my aunt, and that's the end of that. And and I think they've also shown us what true friendship is too. As you get older, you may not see each other every day, you may not talk every day. But when you do see each other or talk to that person, you would miss a beat. I think that's a very important characteristic of a friendship. I've some friends I've been seeing since I graduated from school, but of late I've talked to a few of them, and it's like I talked to you last week. You know exactly what's going on. I think that's doing part of social media, but still, having friends who want to keep up with you positively. Who's saying watching you on social media just to say I watch to see what Daniel do it. They're watching you because they want to keep up. They know you're busy. They won't call, but they know you're busy and thing. But when you do talk to them, they like, I'm proud of what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I see you doing this and that. Tell me more about this and that. And I think that's for me and right now where I am in my life, that's very important. I need my friends, to understand that. Yeah, I won't talk to my friends every day, all day, but I'm also in a place where I'm moving 1,000 miles an hour. I'm trying to do a lot, get a lot done in a short amount of time, and I think real friends understand that and support your dreams, even if they don't understand your dreams.
That's some real stuff. I see in cousin John said, you must put God first in life, and God will do the rest. And I totally agree with that. Nala, you want to say something? No, I ain't playing with you right now. God forgive me. But I think God should be one of your first friends, if not your best friend, your best friend. You know, um, but putting God first, and I think is it not in the Bible where it says a good friend is better than pocket money? I believe that comes out of scripture or something to that effect. You know, God or that good time old saying, a friend indeed is a friend in need is a friend indeed, right? And you have to understand that. That don't mean everyone who come to you because they need something is your friend. That means that when you have a friend who can truly come to you and know who you are, then that know that you're able to assist them. Assist don't always mean financial. I think when people hear the word need, we think in money and whatnot. But excuse me. But I think that really and truly, we have to be there for each other and know who people are. I think that most of my friends, or those that my true friends, my close friends, because again, there's different levels of friends. Diane spoke about those friends that you don't talk to every day, but you don't miss the people and you connect. You know, my other best friend Paige, but me and Paige talk about 6 times a year. We talk plenty. But one thing, when we speak, we catching up on everything. I when we speak, I ask her son, it's my godson. How is he doing? What's that, whatever, and what's going on in their life, and blah blah, her marriage, everything, all that stuff. You know about it, and social media, yes, to a degree, keeps a lot of us abreast of what's going on. I'm roughly almost a decade older than Daniel, a decade older than Daria, and so I could remember a time when a phone call, and I thought about this today, how crazy it is that there will be a generation of people who don't know what life is without being able to video call someone on the other side of the world. When I thought about my grandmother probably grew up and they didn't really have phones, you know. But right now it's so easy to be a good friend. Yet there's so many ain't deep people in this world. Real talk, and you just, as I said earlier, you got to guard yourself and protect yourself, bro. If you don't guard and protect yourself, your friends can take you for a ride. Like when we always say one thing, when you find a market donkey, you ride him till he drop. And don't ever be that market donkey. But at the same time, you be real, you be true to who you are. Do not be taken advantage of, because so-called friends will take advantage of you in many different ways, you know. And at the same time, I want to go back to what cousin Johnny said about keeping God first. God should be your friend. God should be the first person you talk to every morning. And that goes for any religion. Religion could be a hot topic when we talk about that. But, I believe in truly acknowledging and respecting everyone's views. And to be a friend, you have to do that. I have Rasta friends. I have Hindu friends. I have Jewish friends. I've been to bar mitzvahs. I have Muslim friends. Does their faith change our friendship? No, it doesn't. Last 2 minutes, Danny.
So yeah, so in the last minute, I mean, I think you said a lot of key things. I think we will close out what you said. I don't want to, you said made some good points, and so with that, thank you for joining us today. I do, we're still trying to work out the name of this show. We're still working on some things, and we are still, taking topics. You have a topic you want to suggest, you can put in the comments right now. If you want to DM one of us, text one of us. We want to have some really open, transparent conversations. If you want to be a guest on the show, hit us up. Let us know. Hey, I want to join you all one day and talk about X, Y, and Z. We're open. We're down. We're ready. We just want to have some really relaxed, open, true, and transparent conversation. So, thank you all for joining us today. See you again in 2 weeks, which would be the second, which would be 2 days before my birthday. So yeah, we will have maybe an abbreviated show, but there will be a show in 2 weeks on May 2nd. And we will be celebrating, I guess, my birthday at that point. With that, I want to invite you all, those of you who have kids, no kids going to school, next week, Monday at 7 o'clock, I am doing a live Zoom with parents and children and kids, young adults who are going to go to school. Please DM me, text me if you want to join it. If you know anyone who's in school, going to school, I want to share some tips on how I was successful in undergrad and now grad school, and how I enjoyed myself as doing it as well. my dad will be on with the parents, sharing some financial secrets on how to pay for your children to go to school and still be able to have food on the table. And so he will be on joining us as well. Maybe my sister might join and say a little something. But thank you all again for joining us today, and we will see you all in 2 weeks.
Have a good one, people. Thank you all.